then go. Um, we didn't play last week. So you did not get put in detention, Iggy. Um, but Grace, if you don't mind doing it previously on, that would be super cool if you could, but you don't have to. I can.
Well, I think we all can.
Fair.
So it started with those 3 students that were found dead because they were mauled.
Mm-hmm.
And they were suggesting that maybe wild beasts had done it, but it was like on the 3rd floor lab.
Yes. And wasn't there some corporate goings on too with the research? Wasn't there?
There was
Or
that
am I?
lady, Emily Wellsworth.
Yes, the doctor. Was she doing some kind of research? Was there?
Oh, right, you found notes about that object that was an artifact from
South
South
Africa.
Africa.
Yes.
And it
But
was
I don't know.
supposed to have something in it, but when it was uncrated, it was empty.
Yes, that is correct. But did we try to like? Weren't we confronted her in the parking lot, right?
Yeah, after she found us in her office waiting super
Mm-hmm.
patiently for her and not in a weird way.
No, not at all. And then we got kicked out, and then we decided to lay in wait. And
But
I
before
think
that, didn't Ignatius ran into Martha?
Right.
yes, yes,
And she kind of gave us some of the inside story, but she did not know where the janitor lived. I don't think. I unfortunately lost my player sheet that I was keeping notes on. I was looking for it earlier today, and I have no idea where it is. So I'm sort of grasping at what I actually remember from 2 weeks ago.
That's okay. Um, I think it was Martha. My notes are a little unclear on this part, whether it was Martha or whether we learned it from Emily, but um, we learned that they were all missing their livers. All of the students that were found dead. Some of them were missing other things, but all of them were missing
yes,
livers.
livers. That's right. That was from the doc. We found out that the I think it was it. It was Martha.
That was
It doesn't
Martha.
matter. Martha.
And,
Yes, I'm sorry.
and we saw somebody walk by with a specimen bag that had green scales in it. Um, and then Dr. Saunders did his vision thing.
Yes. And we did like a monster POV, right?
Yeah, like where you were devouring them
Yes.
as the lizard-like creature that apparently did in fact devour them. Ugh.
Yes. And and then that's when I did that, then we ran into the doc, Miss Ellsworth, right? After the vision.
Yeah, and I think that's basically the last thing that we really did, except we got a new campus alert that said 2 more students were found dead.
Yes. All right.
Did I say students?
That's what I have written down. 2 more students found dead. 2 more
That's
people,
fine.
maybe?
That's
I don't
fine.
know.
Students, people, fodder. However you want to look at
Game fodder.
it. So yeah, we did. We last left off with you guys out front of the kind of biology research whatever building. You were talking to Emily Wellsworth.
Mhm.
You had caught her attention. I believe one of you made a particularly good persuasion roll or something like that.
Vicky, I believe.
And ultimately, yeah, at this, like while you were kind of kibitzing out front and going back and forth, both you, Dr. Saunders, and Dr. Wellsworth got campus messages that
Mhm.
2 more bodies had been found. Few direct details as to where, but they thought this was going to be kind of isolated to the biology building, but now the campus itself is definitely going on higher alert. They are requesting students return and stay in their dorms, and until notified further.
We
So
kind of figured they went into like some kind of sewer. Is that what we're saying?
yes,
Some kind of grading.
yes. Mm-hmm.
And we are now in the parking lot with Dr. Correct?
Mm-hmm. Dr. Emily Wellsworth, yes.
What is her reaction to this news of the 2 more students being killed? Is it like true horror, or is it like, oh fuck? You're like, oh my god, 2 more people are killed. It's horrible. Or like, oh no, this thing's out of control type of look.
Is there a role for vibe check or read the room?
Probably it would either read a bad situation, maybe. Is that? It's not investigator mystery. Well, it's whatever you want it to be, but I think it
No,
can
I would. Right. I would say
read a bad
her
situation.
body language,
Mm-hmm.
if you're looking for it, Dr. Saunders.
Yes.
It seems to give off an air of, let me find the right word, an air of concern, if not directly for the victims, if that makes sense.
Concern for the victims?
No. Quite the opposite. Like the fear of things escalating, but not necessarily that she feels the
Right.
the victims are.
Okay, so they're like just collateral damage.
Yeah.
Basically saying, yeah, okay.
How
So
long?
she's
What time is this again? We think that the first mauling happened at like.
It's like 3 p.m.
Okay. So a little over 24 hours then.
Mm-hmm.
No,
12.
12. Yeah, because it's the next day, right?
Yeah.
Haha. Time.
And I forget, she was like not having it with
The police.
well, with us, right? Like we kind of
Mhm.
laid out that we were like monster hunters, and like she like kind of was like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
But she did tell us something about the artifact. What did she tell? She told us something important at the end, didn't she?
I just have that she told us that the liver could provide certain things, but
So it turns out the liver is one of the most nutritionally dense things on Earth. So it is full of all kinds of wonderful nutrients and vitamins and all kinds of things. It is high in protein, low in fat, calories, and just the perfect thing you want to eat if you are a growing monster type. Yeah, Wellsworth, when she looks at her phone, she kind of scoffs more than she feels like, oh, more students are dead. She's like, fuck. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. So Dr. Saunders is going to just lay it on the line to her. He tells her what he not necessarily he saw what transpired, like through the point of view, but he describes the as much as a creature as he can do from what he saw, and says to her that, we are equipped to deal with this. You aren't. You obviously have let this let the cat out of the bag, for really lack of a better term.
And what equipment do you have?
Unorthodox equipment that's in your laboratory. Our abilities. And I already found out that this lizard creature kills and takes their livers. I deduced this without any scientific evidence apparatus. So I think you need to be more forthright when more people are dead. Obviously, you don't care about the people who are dying, but your reputation will be destroyed. So if you want to salvage anything of it, you need to give us all the information you have about this.
Manipulate someone?
Here it goes. We'll see. 9 mixed success. Manipulate.
Mixed success.
Yeah. They'll do it, but only if you do something for them right now to show how much you mean it. If you ask too much, they'll tell you what, if anything, take for them to do. Wait, what? They'll do it, but only if you do something for them right now to show that you mean it. If you ask too much, they'll tell you what, if anything, it take for them to do it. If you ask too much.
She will kind of humbly right herself, look at you, and tell you that those particular students were working on a growth hormone.
Okay. The dead students? Okay.
The dead students were working on an experimental synthetic growth hormone.
Mm-hmm.
Named COVID-19. No. No, it'd be inappropriate. It'd be COVID-22 now.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway. No, they were working on an experimental growth hormone.
Mm-hmm.
But what that would have to do with the attack, she doesn't know. Because that's what you're asking. What are they working on? That kind of thing?
Yeah, and also this artifact that was created and delivered to our office, but then opened up and it was gone, whatever its contents. I mean, what was, that's all part of it too, probably. If one could surmise that whatever was in that artifact came.
Iggy had mentioned the lizard people to her before.
So this thing
asked about them.
Potentially could have gotten into the growth hormone. Then we are. Now it's running amok, killing students.
I mean, that's a lovely hypothesis, Doctor.
I don't really need too much empirical evidence to point out that that's probably the case. But you're the scientist, so.
Yeah, she will tell you that they were working on a very, I want to say virulent, maybe that's the wrong choice of words, growth hormone. As for why, like I said, that's why the animal attack particularly, she wouldn't know. The artifact she hadn't really had a chance to do the work on it. And it's effectively still in her office.
What work was she going to do on it?
Some
How
of the
was it
sampling, some of the rubbings and samplings that they take, they were like you said, they're like tea leaves were what was on the manifest, but that's really kind of more getting around customs. They aren't 100% sure what was in the object. Just that some of the swabs they had run came back positive for some of the enzymes they look for in compounds that they're interested in for studying and doing research on. Yeah, tea leaves on the manifest is kind of a catch-all for unknown plant matter kind of thing.
And this is all funded by the university or other parties?
She'll kind of wiggle her head a little, like as she goes into thought and about like who the what's the word I'm looking for? Who the donations come from, where the funding is funneled through. She can't think of anything like in particular that would lead a specific donor to that particular item. These are field researchers who are out doing God only knows what research, and they will send these things back for evaluation. Sometimes for first. I need to get water. I will be right back.
Okay.
Sorry, not
No, that's
doctor.
okay.
Me, Michael.
I don't know. What do you think about going back? Should we go back and check? My chair. The artifact, or if it's still in
Yeah.
her office?
Maybe we can check it out ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I
Well,
kind of, I mean, I want to check out the artifact, but I also want to know like what they're doing with this growth hormone, right? Like,
Yeah.
either one of those sounds like a bad scene, and maybe the two of them together is like what we really need to be looking at. But
Right.
like, I also just wonder, like, I don't think we're prepared to go like hunting after this thing, but we think it's in the sewers. Is that right? Or that's how it's getting around. We don't know where it is.
I think that's
Yeah.
what we.
I think it's we're by the sewer grating.
We saw it go into the sewer
Yeah.
grating.
I don't think
Okay.
we saw it go into the sewer grating. I think we saw that there were police who had
Yeah,
cordoned off a sewer grating.
Yeah, police
Oh,
were
yeah.
milling about and you
Yeah.
could see the depression of the grass. I
Mhm.
believe I said, and that it kind of slithered away towards.
Right. The
Um,
grass.
While you're having this discussion, Iggy, you also get a message from a high school friend. I'm just gonna call them Danny because it's a name. And Danny says he's like, "What the fuck? Check this shit out!" And it's like it's blasted to a couple of group message chats that you're both in. It's like some dark, creepy video. It's really hard to make out, and my dad just fucking saw this at work. And it shows this like large slithering creature, and you know Danny's dad works for the sanitation department.
Oh.
Because sometimes I'll send like weird gross videos of like stuff that shows up and but this is like shadows and darkness and like glints of what may be teeth or eyes, you aren't really sure, passing through what looked to be one of the larger sewer access culverts there around State College.
This is cool, but it's not cool.
Yeah.
So I don't think Dr. Elizabeth is going to want to keep hanging out with us. But I'm wondering if we could ask if we can ask if we can go poke around in her lab some more. Maybe she wants to take us on a tour of her lab. Convince her to somehow do that. Like I feel like we need to have like knowing that the thing like liver like means we can like lay out a trap using livers maybe. But I'd like to know what we're going against.
Yeah.
I feel like
No,
there's
that makes
either
sense to
answers
me.
like still in the lab, or we could try to go to the other crime scene, right?
Well, what were they applying the growth hormone to? Does she know that? Maybe she can tell us that.
Sure. I mean, she would be vaguely, maybe more than vaguely, abreast of their experimenting. I mean, she did run the floor. She ostensibly would be overseeing their work. They were testing it on generally. I want to go with. I'm making shit up. Who's going right now? Lower forms of life, amoeba type organisms, to see how they would react, and basically starting from the ground up with a growth hormone, like a universal growth hormone.
Okay.
Not directly
So
like on
not
monkeys
like
or
on
anything. That's what you're asking.
lizards that have now grown really big. Okay.
Hold on one second. Sorry about that. I mean, the doctor. She's kind of she's on board. You had a really good role last session. I think of manipulate someone or something like that. Ignatius, I don't remember exactly what it was. Um,
Yeah, it was trust me, a
Trust
total
me.
success.
Yeah, you had a total success on Trust Me. So
Let's do it then. Let's go. Utilize that goodwill that Iggy's kind of engendered, and go tell her we're gonna go to her laboratory, and we're gonna do our thing.
don't worry about it, Chris. I'll find something real quick. Yeah, absolutely.
Because we're her, we can potentially stop this, and then, she's gonna have to do damage control to her reputation, to her academic future. But if she doesn't, let us do this, then she's done. More ways than one, besides being, your status at the university. Maybe criminal implication.
Also your conscience.
Ah, yes. I like it. Radio says in your conscience. So shall we?
Yeah, let's go back upstairs.
Away we go.
So yeah, there's nothing. She can wave you back in. She'll give the cops a sneering look as she passes by. Because she already sounded off earlier about how she was just gonna fucking leave. And you guys can find yourself back in her fishbowl. And in her research office again, papers everywhere, research equipment all over. And she'll sit down at her computer and log in. And she'll start shuffling through the files. What were you looking for again?
So we're looking for the artifact, so we can kind of get, or is the artifact missing, or is it there?
The artifact is here.
Okay, so I want to get a better look at the artifact, and I also want to see some notes on this hormone they're testing, and what. I also want to maybe take an inventory of what animals are missing from the lab.
Oh, excuse me.
They're all great ideas.
Excuse me. Go ahead and investigate a mystery with +1.
Okay. Where is she? Mixed success.
Any of you guys help out?
You know, I was going to, but if we both help out, that still makes him a 9, which is still a mixed success.
Oh, that's true.
Which is to say,
That's
but
true.
still, we'll like go look for the animals and stuff for him. Should be helpful. It will.
So as you rummage through, you're able to find the artifact itself. It is this kind of stone pot with a top lid, with a carved top lid. It has this kind of intricate, almost. I really shouldn't mix cultures like this, but almost I want to say it's in the same kind of relief style as Incan, where it's very like these deep recessed carvings. Obviously, it's not. It's from South Africa, but it has this very deep recessed carving shape to it, and you can open it up. And inside, you see these like almost what look to be little, like the little tea leaves. But if you guys open it up and look inside, you'll see on the underside of those tea leaves are these little tiny orange eggs, kind of like little sushi roll.
Oh, those are tasty. How many? Are there like tons of them or just a few little ones?
Excuse me, just a few.
Well, I'm thinking that, I'm wondering if these eggs might have somehow either hatched or exposed to the growth hormone. That might be what we're looking for. We don't need to necessarily inventory what else is missing from the lab.
I mean, you can if you want to do an itinerary or checklist or something. We can.
No.
Yeah, that should be the what?
Oh,
No?
go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, in a game, yes, we would need to see if, like Iggy said, what's missing. If it sheds any light onto what's going. So the connection is how these eggs. That's the theory we're working on. Got in contact with the growth. Can we tell if something like hatched in here? Is there any like eggs, bigger eggs, or any type of other birthing debris we would maybe see?
As you like kind of I'm going to assume Dr. Saunders kind of vocalizes this frustration, like, what?
Yes.
How can we tell? And
as I have blue gloves searching through this. Yeah. As I snap them on.
Dr. Wellsworth will kind of, as a side comment, just mention that, well, Tammy did say that it was kind of open when she found it.
Tammy? Who is Tammy?
Oh, she's just one of my assistants. She helps fetch things from the storage room.
Is Tammy available? Is she open?
Oh, I told most of my staff to take the day off. I can walk you down there if necessary.
I suppose. Shall we? Or do you want to... Yeah.
Down to where they were doing the growth studies, right?
The growth
Actually,
studies. I'm sorry,
before
Yeah.
we leave the lab,
Mhm.
can we? Is there like is there a microscope or something available that we can check out these row and try to see if we can
Good
see
idea.
anything inside of it? Um,
Sure.
guess I would still be investigate a mystery, right? Even though it's not specifically a question that's listed there.
Absolutely.
All right, I'll try investigate a mystery again. Yet again, mixed success.
Yeah. Get to asking. Right?
Can I help? This. Oh,
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to think how I can help you look in a microscope.
So I'm sitting here like looking at I have the egg and I'm trying to put it on a slide, but I actually am like looking through the wrong end of the microscope.
Oh, there we go.
I've never seen one
Nice.
of these before.
Because Radriel knows how microscopes work. Why'd you
Yeah.
click it twice?
Oh, because I didn't mean to.
3 times.
3 times. I didn't mean to. I thought the little pop-up-y thing would happen, and so I was like, oh no, it's not going. But it was going.
Ah.
I'm so used to it asking me with the little pop-up. Anyway,
So 8.
yes.
Dude, if you get a 12 plus, you just get to act like it worked anyway. That's cool.
Only if you're level 5 or above and have it advanced.
I see.
Okay.
Radriel. Um Iggy. Radriel like reaches over and she's like, "Oh, I think I've seen him like this." Sorry, I don't want to speak for you, but like in a literal sense, but and she grabs the slide and moves it around and like smushes all the eggs between the little film top and the glass. And so all of them smush out. And under the microscope you can now see these like really kind of proto things that, I mean, we've all seen those pictures of the aborted fetuses somewhere. They look like one of those horrible pictures, just kind of smushed out on the slide.
So it's not like a giant tardigrade or something.
Dr. Wellsworth will sigh. What are you even doing? And she'll like just walk over and take the little glass thing, I don't remember what they're called, from you guys and scrape some of the matter off and put it into this like whole computer machine, and it just starts to whir away. And you can see this progress bar. I'll tell you what it is in like 10 minutes. Oh my god.
Well, thank you for finally stepping up. We're bubbling around here like Keystone scientists.
You guys did it. Go on, sorry.
It costs you nothing to be polite.
And I just nod regarding Dr. Ellsworth with a cold look.
Wellsworth in her head just had the thought, it might cost me my career, but okay.
You the one who was sloppy. Would be my retort.
How is she sloppy? She didn't do
Jesus, this is not cataloged properly. The protocols here, the security protocols of artifacts. This Tammy, who the hell
Damn it.
going on with her? Ultimately, the buck stops with her.
I mean, this did happen on her watch.
Yeah, sorry, she's in charge. You gotta, it's the way it goes. The chain of command is often a noose.
Oh, jeez.
That's actually, I can't take credit for that. It's from Star Trek. I think.
Nice.
Forgot what episode. Bones McCoy said that. So. Anywho, I
So
guess we'll wait to see.
as the computer as the machine is humming away, after about 5 minutes pass, it kind of beeps and she kind of looks up kind of weirdly, eyebrows up, and walks over to the machine and oh, no match. And it like she just goes into this series of hmm. This is gonna take a minute or two. I don't know if you guys want to just hang around and watch the computer work. But here, and she gives Dr. Saunders like a business card.
Okay.
I can tell you what I learned. It'll probably be I'll have to do a little research on my end because it doesn't have any real matches for this pattern, and well, that's usually it finds at least partial matches. So this is very, very out of the ordinary.
So what you're saying is this isn't an indigenous type entity.
Nothing that's cataloged, and she will offer the artifact itself to you guys. But do you need this? And she will, offer the stone carving.
I suppose if she's offering us this artifact, I suppose if I could take it back to my house and check my libraries.
Mhm.
Sure. I thank her for it. I look at Radriel and Iggy's,
Here is done. We squashed the eggs.
Yeah.
Mystery over. Let it clean the sewers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did we save
Didn't
anybody?
hurt.
No.
No. Didn't hurt. Yes.
Yeah, that's the kind of herd immunity I'm looking for.
That's right. Less people.
Grace's face right now. Very sad Gonzo face.
I love God.
But yeah, she will go and like spin around in her chair and just go straight into work, and just you can see herself like pour herself into some of the data that's even churning out now from the machine. And hands off the kind of, I'm gonna say it's like, Grace, can you, I don't know, maybe you could think of something of, it's like, I don't know, 8 inches by 8 inches by like, I want to say like 6 inches tall.
Like a shoebox, but for boots.
For boots.
Yeah, well, a little bigger than a shoebox, but
Hence boots.
it's like a game cube, right?
Oh.
It's more like a game cube. You know the shape of a game cube? It's cubish.
Yeah, it's a cube.
For games.
For games. It holds entertainment.
You.
You're basic wrong.
He has no idea what you're talking about, Boomer.
It's Generation X thing.
But yeah, you can make it back to Dr. Saunders' home in Haven with.
Is that where you want to go before we
Thieves.
do? Is that acceptable, or do you want to do anything else while we're at the university?
Are you talking to me?
I
Um,
said to Iggy and
No worries.
Radriel.
I actually want to check out the growth study thing first.
Yeah. And
What
I
about
guess
you
I'll
guys?
hold this potted thing. And
Yeah, I mean, we don't have to come back to this lab and break in. We should go while we have someone with a key card who will let us in.
yep.
Well, someone has what? Sorry, say that again.
A key card, since the doctor's with us.
Right.
Is
We
the
wanna
growth?
yeah.
Is it here in this lab in the fishbowl? Is it here? We could
Well, I
just
mean,
walk through.
it's all modern and
Well,
networks.
can I?
You can pull up their research from here.
Okay.
Unless
Oh,
you
but
want to directly go in there and like take some of the growth hormone.
well, I want to go directly in there because there could be clues to what happened actually physically present as well.
Sure. Absolutely. Um yeah, the police have done a relatively thorough job so far. Um the the only police that are kind of milling about now are I don't know, like they're downstairs just keeping order, and there's a few here and there, but you are able to kind of surreptitiously make it into the crime scene room to kind of snoop around. I mean, you find the lab is trashed, right? The
Mhm.
bodies aren't there. There's blood, dried blood all over. Um, Lab equipment is smashed up against all of the walls. You know, the, the smell of random chemicals that have been, mixed together haphazardly kind of still lingers in the air. And yeah, it's a mess. It's a mess.
Are there any little cages like an animal was brought in here?
Mhm.
Maybe
Like an animal was brought in
brought in here, yeah, and then embiggened perhaps.
and
Big
embiggened.
and.
Yes, they have an embiggener in the
It's
back corner.
it's a perfectly cromulent word.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, Simpsons. What was your question again? I got derailed by laughing.
Little cages.
Okay,
What?
yeah,
Maybe
right.
an
No, they
animal.
weren't experimenting on larger, um, like
Well, no, but perhaps
actually,
something
Grace. What
larger just
you
happened to
see in
be
the back
nearby. I don't
corner,
know.
you see in the back corner this large,
Oh,
and it's still intact because it's made out of like plexiglass, and it's this large plexiglass container. And as you kind of approach it, Radriel, you notice that inside there's all these insects kind of buzzing around. You can't really place what the insects are particularly yourself, but if one of your compatriots were to come over and investigate with you, um, they may notice that they are absolutely terrifyingly huge houseflies, like
Oh.
thumb-sized
oh,
houseflies.
Where the hell? Lodge in Biggin.
Biggin.
Houseflies. This
to prove a
doesn't make.
concept.
Yes, that's probably it. So that we can do it. Grotesque.
Flies are a very popular experiment because they high metabolism, grow quickly.
Oh, you're right.
Nobody cares about them at all ever.
This is true. Yes, it's not like very little cute
Yeah.
creatures for rabbits and monkeys and.
So you find this kind of plexiglass container filled with these just kind of freakishly large houseflies.
Hello, Jeff Goldblum. Are you in there? Anything else? Any other types of insects or No, I'm sorry, not insects, but any other non-insects that are in big end? I love that word. I'm gonna use that all the time.
It's a classic.
Love it. It's in my lexicon forever.
You can certainly try and investigate a mystery to this room. There could be clues
Sure.
hidden around here and there, but
And here we go. What the flaming F with these mixed
just the one,
successes?
just the one.
Golly.
Happened here, which we kind of know what to do, where to go. I want to say what is being concealed here, but I don't think anything's being concealed relative to what we're doing. I don't know, are we getting the vibe that something is being concealed? I mean, they're doing it, but is there an ulterior purpose beside? I don't know. Maybe I'm just too conspiratorial. I think there's got to be another reason. This kind of research.
Are you asking me? Is that what you are? Is that your?
Yeah. Yeah.
I will be brutally honest with you, Brian. I had no conspiratorial government agency involvement in my head with this mystery, but
Too many tropes are floating through my mind.
What is being kind of concealed here is
What happened here, right? Is that better? What happened here?
Well, I think you know what happened here.
Yeah, I'm just saying the experimental wise. Not.
I was gonna say what is kind of being concealed here is
okay. Let's go.
Is that these yeah, fuck it. They're doing this is they're going kind of beyond the pale with the growth hormones and
okay.
Like I want to say like as you look at the box filled with these massive flies, like on a piece of tape you see labeled like gestation date today, like 6 hours ago. Or like hours before the incident, basically. They're up late, they were doing research, they had just bred a new batch of these flies, and so it like they labeled the cage this morning whatever 2 a.m. And so these enormous flies over the past 8 or whatever hours, 10 hours, actually it's really been like 12 or 13 now I think about it, are just enormous. They're absolutely enormous. And so you in your head you kind of put that 2 and 2 together. Like they are whatever this thing got into is probably made some metabolic changes to it. It is not a great logical jump.
Right. And if it's DNA isn't showing up, like it's not, because she said it's not a match, so it's not like, it's a salamander, new, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So this is something that hasn't been discovered, or it's alien.
Mm-hmm.
The plot thickens.
Hopefully it's not too thick. Hopefully it isn't too so opaque you don't know where to go.
No, it's just that it's, they're going above and beyond. They're kind of pushing the boundaries of their initial...
they're pushing the edges of science. Yeah.
Yeah. And so whatever got into it, right? And we could all agree that, Iggy and Radriel and Dr. Saunders were chatting as we were looking around. What I just said. I mean, who knows if it's We have to wait till what Dr. Ellsworth comes up with her in-depth
Ye-
analysis.
Yeah, so it kind of seems like we should probably go back and use your library to study whatever we can find about the artifact.
Yes.
Because I don't think we're going to learn anything else until she tells us what the DNA says. Unless we
Exactly.
want to just go forging. Iggy's all for just forging ahead and chasing after the thing, but I feel like we'll probably get our asses kicked if we do that.
Ready to go
Yes,
see
let's keep
Danny's dad? Is that what you're saying?
We could.
Yeah.
Like real-time intel on this creature. I mean, for what Danny's pop saw. I don't know. You want to do that? Or do you want me to go back to the library, research it, and you and Radul, or do you want to do that kind of thing? Kind of kill two birds with one stone?
Never split the party.
Now that is
It's
actually
true.
not a Buffy trope. They split the party all the time. X-Files too.
That's true. They do split the party all the time on the X-Files.
But that's it. It's ultimately up to you guys. You can absolutely split the party and we can play
I'm
both
just throwing
sides of
it
it.
out there. I mean, we could go do the research and talk to Danny's dad. I mean, or talk if that was an option to talk to Pops.
Where were the newest people killed?
Good goodness.
The notice didn't say.
Has there been any news about it? Maybe that might tell us.
Yes, good idea. Check that. Devices.
Yeah. Looks like you can find some information on Facebook that kind of says the victims were found about, and this is a state college thing, about like 5 miles away in one of the farms, the the research farms, because they have a big agriculture program.
Oh no, I had actually been thinking that maybe we could lure them somehow with cow livers. But if they murdered people at the farms.
In fact, you're stealing the words right out of my mouth. I was going to say, along with the humans that were killed, they also found several of the research cattle. You know, the ones that have the big rubber holes in their sides so they can open up their stomachs and reach inside. This is a real thing if you've never seen this.
Forgot about those. Those are horrifying. Yeah, to learn about the inside, about how cow digestion works. They literally bored holes into cows, and you can see inside of them.
Wow.
They're like alive and have holes. Just ugh.
Oof. It's creepy.
If you do not know what we're talking about, it's a totally legitimate thing. I will show you.
I had never even
We are
thought
a
of
creepy
that.
fucking species.
Yeah.
We are the monsters, you guys.
Wow. That's crazy.
Oh, you mean a fistula?
Yeah.
That's what that's called, isn't it?
I thought a fistula was like some kind of like sore, but maybe I don't know.
I think that's
Wow.
what it is.
That's just gross.
Yeah, but yeah, a few of the research cattle were what's a fistula?
It's an abnormal connection between two body parts.
Oh.
Oh.
Well, but that's not between a body part. That's the outside, right? That's an abnormal connection to you and the outside.
If you search cow fistula, it's going to come up as a cannulated cow or fistulated cow. Refers to a cow that has been surgically fitted with a cannula.
A cannula.
Which is a porthole-like device.
Nice.
Okay, so it's a cannula. Gosh. A porthole? Ugh.
Yeah. University of Maryland had a fistulated cow. You had to pull the grass right out of the cow's stomach.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Penn State has them too.
They do right now anyway in this story.
They exist.
They do too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Also, a few of the fistulated cows were mutilated.
Hmm.
I bet their livers were missing.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing specific about that.
I mean, I'm just saying that, like, whatever this thing is would really like hanging out with my grandpa because he also liked the liver.
No.
Nice.
I bet he doesn't eat it raw.
Is that Iggy or Josh talking?
It's actually both.
So yeah, you can easily make it back to Dr. Saunders' place if you so desire, and yeah, your research would turn up that they died a few miles away in at one of the research farms. They look like they were like hands that were there again off season maintaining the livestock and stuff. So more unfortunate undergrads.
Mm.
Not only victims of sky high tuition, but now
Yeah.
monsters at large.
Oof.
Right. So what would the party like to do? Hopefully I haven't left you guys in a lurch.
Well, I'm going to research the artifact.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna go see Danny. Or Danny's dad.
We could do that first. It's really.
I think we could do it at the same time because, like, I don't,
Mhm.
I'm just trying to find out, more information about where the video came from. I could probably even
Right.
just text Danny and ask Danny to ask his dad. Probably don't have to go see Danny's dad. It's probably less weird if I just text Danny back and stick with the party.
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna go talk to Emily then. We'll all do our own thing.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, I'm
All
hoping
right.
she'll find stuff out. I don't know.
Super duper.
Iggy, you message your buddy Dan, and he's like, I mean, if you want to, he'll like he texts his dad and says, "Hey, my buddy Ignatius wants to check out that thing you saw." You're able to make it to the sanitation station, and Danny's father greets you. Danny's father's name is Paul.
Big Danny.
Big Danny, yeah.
Paul Divers, Dyvers, the Divers.
Hey, Mr. Divers. Thanks for meeting up with me. So, where did you guys get that video? Where did you see that thing?
You know, a lot of kids aren't interested in my kind of work. I really appreciate it. I really
Well, I
appreciate
mean,
you showing an interest.
I'm really, I don't really love school, and I'm really interested in the sanitation arts.
Arts. I like how you think, young man. Come on. Come with me. I'll show you. And he takes you into like the main access building, and from there, kind of as the door shuts, you see your eyes look up, and there's like this just absolute apparatus of like engineering everything going on in this large room. But what as the sight strikes you, then the smell hits you as well. Outside, it had already had I like to. Grace and I would go by this water treatment plant near our house in Pennsylvania. I would call it the fart factory because every time you drove by, it just smelled like there was someone just ripped a fart. It smells like someone just ripped a fart constantly, and you don't think someone just ripped a fart.
Iggy might have.
That's just the ambient texture of the air. But as you kind of as he kind of leads you through these labyrinthian pathways through these concrete tunnels, you come to this large opening, big enough for like a tunnel truck, or like a big enough tunnel for a truck to travel through, or like a large semi truck to travel through for maintenance reasons. Sometimes they need to get large vehicles back there, muck things out, pull things out, so on and so forth. Anyway, so this also acts as their primary entrance in and out of the sewer infrastructure here around State College. And I mean, he's just yammering away at you, talking about sewage treatment this, water treatment that, pH levels. He has this long rant about people who don't like fluoride. But what you as you're walking along, you see, maybe he's oblivious to it, but you see what look to be like these scraping marks across one of the sides of the tunnel. It's not immediately at the entrance. You guys have walked about 15 minutes now, kind of down this main corridor, and it's kind of slowly tapered off as you've walked down, and it's getting very dark. He had you put on some a high vis and a helmet and stuff. And right about around here, and there's like this T junction. And as you kind of come around the T junction, Iggy, you notice that the wall where the shadow was, there's this just scratches and scrapings all along it, like something was dragging itself through.
I'm gonna take a
Something
picture
large.
of this and send it to the group chat.
Sure.
Guys, it definitely was here.
As
Click.
As you send the text message into the group chat, right at that moment, Dr. Saunders kind of hits on a website, and like the carving on the top of the container looks very familiar to this pictograph of what is described in South African lore as the Grootslang, Grootslang,
Mm-hmm. Grootslang.
which roughly translates into big snake.
Oh. So I will be informing my colleagues of that, what I found in my research.
While that happens, does Radriel have a phone?
Yes,
She
she
got it
Oh, that's right.
got one.
before Iggy joined
Mhm.
at the mall. She got it from the mall.
Stole it before they condemned that place.
No. She bought it. She left money anyway.
Would you show this to Dr. Wellsworth?
Yeah, actually, I would, and I also want to ask her if she approved those studies on the flies. They seem to be getting pretty out of hand. That's actually why I wanted to go see her. I wanted to bug her about that.
No pun intended.
But I will also yes. But I will also show her that.
Oh my god, you guys. Oh, my eyes are. Oh.
I don't know. She just seems sus.
Yeah, I'm down with the suspect too. Vibe.
She gets this, I don't want to say Sliger, that's not the right emotion. She gets this kind of annoyed smirk. I've told them to be careful, but I can't be here at 2:00 in the morning every night. like this sense of annoyance. Like they were. She doesn't like. I guess what I'm trying to get across is it's not necessarily so much disapproval that they were doing it, but disapproval at their methods.
Mhm.
Um, that they were being reckless, and uh, she felt like things might get out of hand, or not necessarily get out of hand, but cause some kind of problem. Um, not. I mean, she would have never predicted some, random that some creature would attack the researchers in the middle of the night.
Well, no, 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 no. Okay, what does she say when I show her the brood slong?
She'll kind of raise an eyebrow, and that makes sense. She will kind of like um in a move that she just kind of she gets this look on her face, and like the dots are all fitting together. Um and as for the Groot slong thing, like she would not um uh, like the Groot slong as a mythical creature comes with a lot more baggage than what a biological scientist is really willing to attach to it.
Mhm.
But she will say like some of these markers in the genes really are very distinctive. Um, but uh, it seems to have some kind of strange because of the markers. It doesn't seem to produce um, any kind of no, I'm not using the right language. Um, it has some kind of diversity to just vitamin C.
Hmm.
Hmm. Okay.
Like kryptonite.
What time of day is it?
It's reaching around 7, 8 o'clock. 8
7
o'clock.
or 8 o'clock at night. Would you guys like to meet at a burger shop?
Hey,
I'm
burger
always
shop?
hungry.
I suppose so. I'll eat before.
You will smell Iggy before he reaches the table. Um, uh,
Oh, Jesus.
but
What?
yeah, I
What? I
mean,
wash my feet.
wash my feet. Oh, excuse me. How do you proceed, guys? Hopefully, I've left you enough actionable information.
Mm-hmm.
So
Gonna
we
call.
know that it
Get
we,
him.
we know that it likes liver,
Mm-hmm.
and
Has
when
an
we know that
aversion
it's traveling
to
around the
soup.
sewers, right?
Yes. And it apparently has a problem with vitamin C.
Mm. So.
So we need to go shopping. We need a lot of liver, and we need a lot of orange, and a slingshot.
Now, this giant snake. So, what form do we think it really is? Is it?
It's more.
Is it?
Go on, sorry.
No, it's more lizard-like than more reptile than reptiles. Is it?
Well, I'm creating kind of a hybrid monster. It has
Okay.
claws. Groot Slong, mythologically, is basically just a big snake. But I wanted more than that, so it's
Yeah,
more of
I think
a big
right.
snake
It's a
lizard
hybrid.
thing. Yeah.
Okay, so it's a lizard snake combination. So. Hmm.
I think that Iggy is onto something
Oh.
Yeah.
with the livers. I would suggest perhaps orange juice and balloons as well.
Yes. I think it's a little more easier to construct. I guess to splatter it if we encounter it with the orange juice. What has a high concentration of vitamin C? Is orange juice our go-to? I'll look that up.
The Flintstones, I think, they have the highest concentration. No, I don't know.
We're gonna.
Well,
Uh-oh.
actually, do we even need the liver though? Can we just flush the sewers with like a lot of vitamin C? Like, can we like figure
Which
out
is
a way? Okay, so we need is a lot of frozen orange juice, and we have everyone we know flush it down the toilet. Oh, I guess we need to know where it's coming out though.
yeah.
So
Just
we
a
might
big
still
ad
need the livers.
campaign. Everybody at 3:00, flush orange juice down the drain.
It's a TikTok challenge. We can make this happen.
Ooh, chili peppers have a lot too.
Mm.
Do they really? That's beautiful.
Cranberry
Appar-
juice.
Lots of things apparently, yeah. Parsley? Okay.
Kind of like Radjo's idea to have it, maybe fill it up with balloons and slingshot it with, or lob it at this creature. We come face to face with it. Maybe it is like holy water to a vampire. That's something to have in our arsenal. Oh!
Ah,
Hang on a little memento.
There's a GNC across the street. No.
I have an armory in my haven.
You do?
You have a stockpile. It's one of my last move up, levels up. You have a stockpile of mystical and rare monster-killing weapons and items. If you need a special weapon, roll weird plus weird. On a 10 plus, you have it, and plenty of it if that matters. On a 7 and 9, you have it, but only the minimum. On a miss, you've got the wrong.
ooh. What about like super soakers?
You do that too.
You know those, yeah. What do you guys think?
Yeah. Let's do that. Should I try to roll? See if I have this Ramschlager killing.
The
Or we're gonna go
Grootslong?
Grootslong, something to defeat it. We have a more concentrated effort.
Sure.
All right, we'll do that. I think that sounds good with the super sprayers, and that just sounds awesome. Now let's see if I have it.
Ooh.
I have the wrong, but do I know it's the wrong? That's the thing.
So instead of a super soaker, he's just got 9mm pistols.
Yeah, I'm like, nah, no. I don't have the magic bullet, the silver bullet. So.
Exactly. Like, oh, these are for lycanthropes. I don't have anything for weird South African monsters.
Yeah. Of course I have. It's not to Europe. Nothing from South Africa. Ugh. Okay, I don't. So super soakers and balloons and OJ and cranberry juice it is.
and boot jalokis all around.
Mm-hmm.
That's a pepper.
Hmm.
What's up, Radro? What's the problem?
Well, we have a good offense, but I can't think of any really good defense for a snake that'll claw you in the dark. Oh, other than light, I guess. But I don't think was it dark in there? I don't know if it
In
is.
the
It was,
sewer,
wasn't
yeah.
it?
In the sewer, it's dark. It was relatively well lit. The areas where,
Mm-hmm.
what did I name him? Paul. Where Paul
Mm-hmm.
All driver.
Driver, yeah, or Divers. Paul Divers. Took you guys. But at that kind of T junction, it did get much darker. Like you started to reach the inner bowels of the sewer system, and yeah,
Well,
things are. And you were getting more light from your headlamp than any ambient light. That's for sure.
well, there are scents snakes don't like, including smoke, cinnamon, cloves, onions, garlic. Perhaps it has some aversion to those.
No, I'm not here to
Maybe
tell
we
you
should-
how to attack your monsters. So
No, you
We need to set
know,
a trap also, right? Like we need to get it to come out. Or are we
Mm.
going in after it?
Right.
As much as I love my tour of the sewer factory,
Sewer
which, by
factory.
the way, I did love the tour of my sewer factory, but I don't know that you guys are going to really like it. I feel like it's going to really offend Dr. Saunders.
I'm gonna have to dress for it to get some working coveralls and look like I'm ready to go to hazmat location.
Although there is the possibility for fun costuming.
Oh, I always wanted to come.
Fun with hazmat.
Yeah. Well, Dr. Saunders is going to just make this little concoction of spices like the onion, cinnamon, also other spice like peppy, pepper, chili powder. Because apparently lizards don't like those things either. So he's going to make these concoctions, these potent.
I'm gonna text, or am I with you guys, or am I still at the
You
No,
guys
we're at the
still at
sewer
the
burger
burger
shop.
factory?
joint.
Oh right, we're at the burger joint.
What a
I'm
burger!
gonna shoot a text to Mr. Divers and see if or Danny. Hopefully Dan. I got Paul's number before.
Oh yeah, no. You call me anytime. I love young people. No, there's just not enough of them in this line of work.
So I'm gonna ask Mr. Divers if there's any way, if we needed to, like, I've been thinking so much about the tour, and I'm really interested in it. I'm just curious, like, is there a way that you guys like flush the entire system? Like, does that have to happen? Is like a basic piece of maintenance every year? Um, if that was a thing that had to happen, where would you go for that?
Where would you go for that? I love this. Manipulate someone, or if you have a
All
move that's more appropriate for.
right. So manipulate someone. Yeah, I think mixed success.
He's sus of your request, but he's also blinded by a youth being interested in his line of work.
The sanitation arts.
The sanitation arts, exactly. You really won him over with that one. He links you to a series of actually municipal bulletins from a couple of years ago when they did with what the article refers to as a system flush, and they run it down at they start it at the fire station, fire station 3 in State College, and because ironically or more appropriately they have some of the biggest water access pipes in the fire service station, and so they initiate the flushes down at the fire station, fire station 3. It is a relatively complicated series of of valve turning, and there's a specialized key. Like they create these specialized keyed valves so that they basically haul in a big old valves wheel for, and then attach it to, and then open up this like limiter system to just flush the system with water to try and push refuse pressure through pressure. So yeah, it happens. It can be done. As mentioned, the apparatus to do so is at Fire Station 3. It's not something they do particularly regularly because it's disruptive. But yeah, and that's kind of information he can give you with a 7. A 12, he probably would
That's
have
what
walked you down there and done it for you.
Oh, just about to do it now.
Yeah.
Join me. It's National Flush. It's the flush.
Flush day, yeah.
Flush day.
You flush, I flush, we flush.
We all
So I
flush.
think we should have like a 2-part trap, right? Like I think we should set out some bait somewhere, but we should also flush the system so we know, we're going to force them out into the open, but then we're also going to kind of point them to where we want them to go. And that way we're like ready to hit out, right?
We all
Well,
flush down here, Georgie.
maybe if you spend some more time with him, you can convince him to show you how a flush is done.
Little schmoozing.
And in the meantime, we can get some liver and maybe some other stuff they might like to lure them out. Them or it. Do we know how many there are?
You get a message from Danny. Iggy just says, "What the fuck, man? My dad will not stop talking to me. It's like you're his new best friend, man. What did you do today?"
You should go take a tour of the poop factory sometime.
He's a fucking monster in the sewers, bro. That's so awesome. Come on. Who would not be intrigued by that?
Sewer monster.
It's a sewer monster. Oh my god, it's a sewer monster. Come on.
Yeah, you just get these series of texts from Danny just like, my dad won't stop talking about you, Iggy.
Well, we could go, as we figure that out, go get our supplies. I mean, if you want to use, how does a flushing is? We'd have to figure out where it would go, right? With the surge of water, right? Would it be these series of surges of water, right, or chemicals, or what? Like, how does it all work?
He will tell you that, or the article would have told Iggy that the main runoff is about 5 miles outside of State College proper, and it leaches off into this leach pond that is all like fenced off to keep public out and stuff like that, because for obvious reasons.
So that would be our point. Try to get it there. Right? Is that
Yep.
what we wanted to do? I mean, I don't
He
really.
can't see you nod, Grace.
Oh, sorry. Yes. Yes.
I knew she was nodding because that makes no sense. No. So that's what we want to do. So do we? I don't think we want to go chasing.
All right,
doers.
so I'm gonna manipulate Danny
Okay.
to ask Danny
Nice!
to ask his dad to show him how the system flush works, and then we should go set the trap at the leach field with
Okay.
the water balloons, the spicy water balloons.
Spicy water. I love it. Yeah.
All right, here I go, manipulating
Let's
Danny.
go, Iggy.
Oh, the
Ah,
dice are just not. The dice are not on our side tonight.
fuck.
Do I get experience for mixed successes or no? Just for total
No.
failures.
Just failures. It's better than a failure. Oh, you owe Danny big time.
They'll know.
Bro, you gotta score me some dope fucking weed.
Yeah, a little behind the curtain, Iggy. I wanted to make the next session at your high school. Whoops, my thing's beeping at me. At your high
Okay.
school, so I'll figure out what Danny gets at what pound of flesh Danny gets out of this for next session, because I wanted it to be at the high school, and I wanted to kind of do a thing at the high school. So yeah, he'll be like, man, you owe me at least a fucking ounce for this, man. I do not like hanging out with my dad.
Primo.
And now I'm gonna hear about this for a fucking month. Didn't you have fun, man? Oh, it's gonna be endless.
Dude, all I'm saying is that you're giving your dad his Father's Day present in January.
There you go. It's twofold. There's a method to the madness, Daddy.
So yeah, he'll text you. He's like, I guess he's so enthused that he'll do it tonight. Oh my god. He's just he's now annoyed he's gonna miss his show or something.
His show. I love it. It's his show. It's like me when I was a kid. I can't come out.
You're a teenager. You watch everything on the internet. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it. It's his show.
That's how petty it is, exactly. You hit the nail on the head, Iggy.
God.
I'm gonna miss this show. I could watch it any moment at any time.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh God, I remember those days.
But yeah, he said that he'll do it right now, but it's gonna take a couple hours for the whole thing to go down.
Excuse me.
I know we're butting up against 10 o'clock. I don't know if you guys wanted to try and finish this adventure out tonight, but it's up to you all. It's 10 till, basically.
Oh, it's 8:50. Yeah. Okay.
But it's up to you all.
Whatever you feel like doing, folks.
I
There.
don't have anything going on.
Yeah, I have to eat dinner and stuff, but I can go a little while longer. I don't know how much, how much fighting this thing and flushing the system and all that kind of stuff is going to take. So might be better to push it until next week. I don't know.
No, if you don't want to rush it, yeah. And if you got a jet soon, I'm content.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like a little. I guess I just need like the behind the curtain, like Michael. Do you think we have like 30 minutes of this adventure left, or you think we have
we
like?
we could probably do a good wrap in 30. 100%.
If everyone's up for it, let's do it.
Yeah. 10-4.
Yeah. You guys, you got about 2 hours until the flush. Um, how do you spend these next couple hours? You know where the
It's
exit
about
point
time.
is, for lack of a better term. Um, yeah. How do you guys spend? I'll go with Radriel. How do you spend the next couple hours in prep?
I will acquire balloons. I will fill those with cranberry juice. I will acquire um uh let's see, we need meats like livers and stuff, right? So I'll go to another butcher and acquire many livers and even some sausages and stuff because they don't just eat the livers. They usually enjoy other organs as well. Um, they or it, I'm not sure.
So you go to the butcher shop and they have chicken livers by the bag. If you
I will get many of those.
I will get
So
many.
literally it's like a gallon bag filled with these like I don't know how to describe them, their size properly.
They're
Like a key
tiny.
fob size, basically. Chicken chicken livers.
I'll take
I think that's
5,
about their size, if I remember correctly.
I guess.
You'll
I'll
take
take as
five
many
pounds.
as I'll take as many as will fit reasonably in Dr. Saunders' car rental car.
Okay. Yeah, they only have 5 pounds on hand. It's not something they go through a lot of turnover in. Um, usually those go to the chicken McNugget factory, but today they're going to you.
Yeah, I explained that I need them for something important.
They don't care.
Yeah,
They
pass
don't
them on.
care. You can do what they don't. They don't need to know what you're doing with your chicken liver. But yeah, you're able to acquire at least 5 pounds of fresh chicken livers. All in these neat plastic gallon bags. Uh, Dr. Saunders, how do you spend the next couple hours? Hour or
Um,
so. Hour and a
getting
half.
the anti snake lizard concoction. We're going on the offensive. He's going to defensive, kind of like the debuff type
Mhm.
things with the my cursory search on the internet. But snakes don't like cinnamon, onions, peppers, lizards, spicy stuff too. So he's going to mix all this. He's going to try to find the right ratios and kind of make this um, potion is potent.
This
Potatoes.
cocktail. This
This
cocktail of
cocktails,
death.
yeah. And then whatever
Anti-snake cocktail.
yeah, anti snake lizard cocktail. uh whatever vessel conveyance container we're gonna use, he's gonna measure.
Okay.
And of course getting that hazmat suit, getting those work coveralls and boots. Could get messy
Put
and
on his
smelly.
blue collar uniform.
Yes, exactly. Guess I'm going to
This
Tractor
is what
Supply.
the workers look like.
Oh, this is
No,
what
I'm
the
kidding.
hoi polloi, the troglodytes.
So yeah, you're able to create like these balloons of your cocktail, your cinnamon, orange juice, cranberry juice. What else did you say they didn't like? It was like cinnamon and
Cinnamon, onions, peppers, garlic,
onions, peppers. Yeah,
lime juice. Yeah.
it's like this gumbo of snake death that you've created. Um, but yeah, no, you have like 5 of these balloons that you're able
Okay, 5.
to wield. Iggy?
Super duper.
I'm gonna go looking for my old super soakers And so I'm gonna run to my house. I'm actually just gonna run out to the yard, not say hi to anybody. And I'm gonna be, tearing through like the garden stuff and like trying to assemble super soakers from like broken pieces of other super soakers.
Nice.
And yeah, and then filling them with lemon juice
Lemon
and
juice
cayenne.
and
Yeah,
cayenne.
delicious.
Delicious. It's very acidic.
And it's high in vitamin C.
Okay, guys. You are all now trundling along in the rental car. The soft scent of chicken livers wafting from the trunk as you make your way to the fenced out drainage exit for the local sewer, state college sewer plant system, whatever. You pull up. To no surprise, nobody is there. It is what is effectively an empty field. There is a drive, a kind of dirt gravel path that leads to the fenced off area, and there's a locked gate. It's just a simple padlock fenced gate. To keep looky loos out and the general public out. But what you see before you, let me see if I can find a good picture. One day I'll learn to type and I'll be really dangerous. That is not what I'm looking for at all. Here we go. This will work. I don't want it looking down, though. It's not perfect. It's not perfect. There we go. This will work. This is what I have in my head. Not whatever you just did. This will work. So around this, there's like this sloping grade that kind of comes down around this built up, you can see the picture. And I want to say the down ramping looks something similar like this. Kind of around it. And it's all fenced around. And there's this big runoff pond on the other side. It's like a 5-acre runoff pond. And so there's like raised all around. There's around the fenced area, there's this raised dike, basically, to keep the, any overflow, like large overflow. It creates what is effectively a lake, a small pond or a lake. So this is what you guys are presented with. It's about 9:50, and Danny sends a message to Iggy saying, "Man, you so fucking owe me. This is so goddamn boring, man." He sends you a picture. He's like, the only thing here, like, there's this super hot firefighter chick, and he like sends you some pictures. And then he's also sending you all these pictures of what his dad's doing. Um, and he sends an active video, and you can see his father turning this large valve, um, and like in the back, not in the back, but over the audio, you hear this kind of rumbling noise as the pressure is let off, and the massive torrent of water. You can hear rumbling, and Danny remarks, I can feel it under me. What the fuck? And like all around me kind of shakes a little bit, and you can feel the torrent of water rushing. Um, my dad said it takes about 6 or 7 minutes for it all to push through. So
Here comes the royal flush.
Yeah.
There you go.
Right,
So yeah,
which
right on
is,
cue. About 5 minutes later, you hear this unworldly or otherworldly screeching as what almost sounds like concrete being torn, as this torrent of water pushes this massive snake-like lizardy thing with these claws, almost like a millipede, along its body. Grace did not like that. You should see her face.
No.
So yeah, like this 40-foot massive millipede comes thrust out into this drainage pond. What do you guys do?
Well,
It's flailing. It looks at you, Dr. Saunders, because you open your mouth first. And
with the chicken livers, so its attention is diverted from me,
Yes,
please.
I'm gonna toss a bag of a 5-pounder partially opened over towards it. and
roll
see if
manipulate
that-
someone. I don't know how to give you advantage. Give it with plus
Oh,
+3. That seems like advantage.
okay.
I know it's a bit of a bastardization of manipulate someone, but
There. +3 would make it a 9, right?
Yes. Oh, thank goodness. Yeah. Well, you rolled twice, did no? Oh, 17 minutes. Sorry, Ignatius.
I guess we could do advantage just by rolling twice, but it's up to you.
No, I'll take the 9. I could easily get worse again.
Yeah.
Fair
Totally
enough.
gift horse.
It works, Radrill, but as you're spreading, as you like flinging, I envision like you, someone cutting the top of the bag and you grabbing the bottom and just like flinging it and them flying around like waves of little chicken livers just flinging all over the ground.
Yeah.
It works, but in doing, you're gonna take a damage because one of the claws basically grazes you as it runs towards the chicken livers near you,
Ow.
and it starts to feast and
Ugh.
gobble them. It's so furious as it tries to eat them that it like is even eating some of the dirt.
Oh,
Aw.
ravenous.
Gross.
Ignatius.
I'm going to use my what could go wrong to charge into immediate danger without hedging my bets. And I don't even roll for that. I just do it because it's my mundane perk.
Yep.
And I'm going to come out and I'm going to marinate this thing with my lemon juice in the super soaker.
Yeah.
So
like-
that inflicts 1 extra harm.
Awesome. Because you guys did the research on this one and you did all the prep, you're going to do 2 damage, and as it hits, it almost sizzles. You can see like the soft smoke come off of it because of your concentrated vitamin C. it like creates these almost like stripes of where you've super soaker peed all over it with your vitamin C, causing two damage in it, and it reels back and looks directly at you, Iggy. Dr. Saunders.
Is it by the opening?
Kind of. The opening is still a large confluence of water is pushing through still.
So still coming through, so it's swirling around. Okay. Kind of.
I would say the
on the
culvert
bank?
is looking at like 2 to 3 feet of water is just constantly rushing out right now into the pond around you guys.
Wherever it is, if it's on like wet earth, soil,
Mhm.
I'm going to use magic and make the soil just turn to erode. This way it has no purchase.
Okay.
And maybe floth around in the stinky water there.
No, it's definitely not.
13.
Yeah, Dr. Saunders, you're able to kind of liquefy the dirt and grass that was growing there, and the water kind of it penetrates into the dirt itself, and it causes the whole area the name completely escapes my head all of a sudden. The snake monster creature turns to mud, and it begins to its claws can't make purchase. They just dig into the mud and pull through. It's like this wet, like almost like chocolate soup mud, and it just can't. And it starts to slip down the muddy embankment into the water, and it's like trying to claw its way out now. But it is no longer in kind of striking distance of any of the party at the moment.
Oh, good.
Great, I'll throw balloons at it.
Okay. If I remember correctly, the weapons just do the weapon in Monster 3, correct? Or is it usually
Yeah,
kick
so
some
I have
ass?
no idea what that would be.
Either kick some ass or act under pressure, I think. But probably kick some ass because
Let's try and kick some ass, Radrill.
when you get into a fight and kick some ass.
Radrill, you skate down the mud. You don't slip down the mud. You kind of intentionally put yourself in danger, and kind of skate down the mud. And you're throwing what? You're throwing those balloons, or you're
Yeah, my balloons.
and you're
at
able to
it.
smash one of the balloons like directly into its mandible, causing it to sear and rear around and thrash in your general area, causing you one more harm because of your mixed success.
I got swooped.
You got swooped. Ignatius?
I'm gonna double fist the other super soaker. I've been pumping up my super soakers this entire time, so now I have 2 of them at like full blast, and I'm gonna, stand with one in each hand and
Akimbo.
I'm gonna kick some ass towards it. One of my super soakers is blocked. I shouldn't have built this out of pieces in the backyard.
Less elegantly, but you do swear you do it on purpose. You also skate down the muddy hill towards the mandibles of this beast, unloading your super soakers into its face and general body area, causing it 2 more harm. It looks very, what's the word I'm looking for? Hurt.
Hurt.
Yeah, I wanted to be a little more rosy, flowery, but The word just didn't come to me in time.
It's
It's heckin' hurt, bro. You also take a point of damage, Ignatius.
All right.
As it's thrashed around, it catches you also with a claw. That leaves it up to you, Dr. Saunders.
I am going to try to use magic again, and as it's flailing around, it's still injuring Radriel and Ignatius. I'm going to try to solidify that mud underneath it. Just
like
churn
trapping it in the mud, like letting it sink in, and then nice.
So I'm just going to concentrate and just push with my hands and just focus on and kind of flex my fingers as I'm like kneading clay, as I'm sculpting to just coalesce all that blood. And it does not. But I level up. The glitch. The magic is your I think it's up to you, correct?
Which is
magic
this?
failed.
You're using use magic?
Yeah. Failure.
I rolled it off Ignatius. You can ignore that. I just wanted to pop it open.
Where's the failure? I know it's in the book. Hang on, I have the book here. I know. I think 709 is a glitch. I pick it. Failure is up to you.
Yeah, you're tapped, Brian. You're now Dr. Saunders. That 13 like liquefying the water and all of that. It tapped you out. This failure is going to make it so you can't use magic for the remainder of the session. The mystery, I guess. So you used up all your spell slots. That's the failure here, is what I'm going to give you. Is that you tapped yourself out with that last magic.
Okay.
But just for today, or rather the session. So.
Gotcha.
Radriel?
Okay, so if Radriel is that close anyway, it is going to hit the thing with her hammer this time.
I love how just right off your back.
Yeah, it's just always on.
Perfect.
It's just a hump. Don't.
Boom, boom. Go ahead and kick some ass with that.
Boo. 8, though.
I'm gonna give you one more damage as you come in to smash it. The hammer comes straight down on its mandible skull area, and you smother its face to death with your hammer. But in the act, it claws at you, causing one more harm.
Ooh.
You kind of, with Iggy sliding down, guns akimbo, and shooting into the face. In my mind's eye, he got like in its eye area, and so it's more flailing at that juncture. You guys had really fucked it up, and so this giant heaping, really more millipede / snake type horror is slumped over dead in front of you guys at this.
Nice.
I
would say you did the mystery.
Yay!
So, do we just kind of fold our arms, high five, and say, "Okay,
what do you
leave
want
this
to
weird
do?
monster here," or do we? Because I don't know what.
I think we should call Danny and tell his dad what just came out of the system.
Yeah. Let his father get the credit for flushing out the system, and oh my God,
Oh
kind
yeah.
of yeah.
Yeah.
And let the Dr. Ellsworth try to explain. It does get back to her. It might not.
Oh, you don't tell Wellsworth. I mean, she kind of knows, though, right?
Well, I think she'll figure it out.
She was nothing but rude to us, though. Why would we?
Yeah.
Why would we extend her
courtesy of kind of closure, I Thorders agrees with Radriel that she is definitely sus. So she'll read about it in the news.
He was what
What
I
might-
believe is referred to as a rude dude.
Yes.
Well, I will do the end of mysteries. Yeah, it fades to black. You guys murder this thing. In the credits, there's like this radio playing. Large snake found in sewers of State College. It doesn't actually really say the truth. It's all half truth. You guys know the real truth, what was really found and what really happened. Someone said it was just like someone's pet anaconda got too large, lived in the sewers or something. The news never puts two and two together, like the deaths of the researchers, the deaths of the agriculture students. None of that is dotted together, but you guys know the truth. And then it fades to black with the kind of poppycock news service. It fades to black as the credits roll.
Nice.
Did you guys conclude the current mystery?
Yeah.
Yes.
We did.
We did.
Did you save someone from certain death or worse?
For sure. Lots of people.
I mean, I
probably.
argue you did, but let's make sure did we learn something new and important about the world?
Mm.
No.
This lab was doing some bad stuff.
Oh, I'll take that one actually, because I kind of want to use this as a plot hook for later episodes.
There you go.
Science run amok.
I like that. I like that.
Are you guys trying to argue that you did save people? Ostensibly, you did. In the countdown clock, they just it just starts killing more and more people.
So, absolutely, we save people.
Like,
no doubt.
Probably either Paul or one of his coworkers.
True. I mean,
Absolutely.
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 The diver's family would have never been the same.
No.
Danny's mom would have started drinking. He would have stopped. He would have stopped coming into school. He would break his arm in a tragic sporting incident and get addicted to fentanyl, and eventually move on to heroin when he would no longer get prescriptions.
There you go.
Okay. Well.
And then he wound up
happen.
in a gutter, eaten by a giant centipede monster. 3. Go ahead and mark 2 experience, guys. I hope you guys had fun. I loosely based this on the movie The Relic.
I knew it.
Nice.
I knew it. I love that movie. I was gonna say it, but I was like, no, let me save it for the end in case he reveals it. So yes, I love that movie.
I thought it was a fun premise, a nice little Monster of the Week premise. So I hope you guys had fun.
I stuck in to see that movie when it played. We watched Scream, and then we stayed in the movie theater, my wife and I. Let's just stay here.
Naughty.
We were very naughty, and we saw The Relic as a double.
Cool.
Excellent.
Is that Tom
Lovely.
Sizemore?
Thank you, everybody.
Tom Sizemore, yep.
Yeah, have a good
I
night.
hope you guys had fun.
Good dinner.
Take
I
care,
did.
Josh.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Night, guys. Well, I'm not immediately leaving, but
Yes, I knew it was The Relic. I was like, let me see if my